Hey, this is Irvin Griffin trying out something different. No coup tomorrow much, save the background and what's over my shoulder. But gotta talk about Mr. Lavar Ball. Now, I was just watching two of Ticket TV's videos, and there's two subjects that's out on him right now. One of which I gotta laugh at if it's true, and the other which I'm going to defend him on. Now, as I've said in the past, I'm not a big fan of this guy. I personally think he's a loudmouth opportunist, trying to use his sons to gain more money and such. Though the idea of the big baller brand, I'll be honest, I hope somebody else, African American, follows what he's doing as far as trying to build your own brand, having control of it, having ownership of it. I mean, why not? Everybody else is doing it, but somehow it's a problem when someone African American does it. The only thing I hope is whoever follows LeVar Ball, I hope they're smarter about it. Because let's be honest, yeah, he's made a lot of shrewd businessman moves. He's also made a lot of mistakes too, I believe. And I still get a trip out of how he more or less pimped Christina Leah. And I'm with Carcinio on this because he made a video about that situation. Girl, stop trying to play the victim. You're not a victim. You brought that one on yourself. LeVar Ball has said way more inflammatory and way worse than what he said to you. And I don't see Kyrie Irving crying victim. And he has probably the most reason to be mad. I mean, dude talked about his mom, who's deceased. You don't see LeBron James other than the statement saying, hey, leave my kids out your mouth. You don't see him carrying on like that. And he's like the face of the NBA right now, like him or not. You don't see him doing that. But back to the subjects. The first one I want to talk about, people are now complaining about him yelling at the kids because basically his team got spanked over the weekend by 50 points by this team from Compton, California. And let me say this. I saw the video of LeVar Ball yelling at the kids and this and that. What did he say? What did he do that was so horrible? I've seen worse from Bobby Knight back in his prime. And nobody really complained about it until that footage came out of him actually putting hands on the kids, which many say he did that on multiple occasions over the years. But nobody pitched a fit about Bobby Knight. And to me, LeVar Ball, he did nothing really any worse than I've ever seen any coach. I used to play when I was a kid under coaches that did the same thing, white and black. Yeah, they're just reaching for anything they can get on this guy to shut him up and shut him down. That's the way I see that situation. Now, as for the other one, that if it's true, ooh, this really puts them in a bad light. Apparently, Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball's eldest son, showed up to the gym to that very game where his dad's team basically got destroyed. He shows up in a pair of Nikes. Doesn't sound like a big deal on the surface, except Lonzo Ball, or rather LeVar Ball, has been pushing the big baller brand with these almost $500 pair of shoes that you can't get refunds on if you pay for it. It says no refunds, no exchanges, which I've never heard of any company doing that. Piece of advice. If anybody ever tells you if you pay for this, no exchanges, no refunds, and it's sight unseen, meaning you can't even look at it, you might not want to fool with it. You might not want to fool with it. But anyway, he shows up in these pair of Nikes. Now, he does put on the big baller brand slippers before he actually goes out onto the court. But I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't Nike turn this kid down Didn't he turn him down for a shoe deal originally? Which is why I really believe that's why the Big Baller Brand thing came about, because Nike and them didn't want to fool with him and didn't want to pay no $1 billion for unproven talent and an unproven name other than college. Now, I have seen some footage of him in college. He actually is quite good. He actually is good. But is he really as good as his father is hyping him up to be? Well, I guess time will tell on that, but really? Really? $1 billion for an unproven name? If I was in Nike shoes, I'd have been like, no, screw that. We don't even pay Jordan or LeBron that much. And they're actually proven talents. I don't think even Kobe gets that much for a shoe deal. And he actually was a proven talent, despite what I think of him personally. As a basketball player, you can't take nothing away from the man. But he shows up in their shoes. If it's true, man, that just shows right there. They're just trying to mess with people to try to make that bread. They're trying to hustle people, man. At the same time, though, his idea, LaVar Ball's idea, is actually a good one. I just hope whoever follows him or whoever decides to do it after him, they come up with better execution than what LaVar Ball has shown. But as for the other thing with yelling at the kids and stuff, get out of here. People just want anything to pick at this dude at. Anyway, happy Memorial Day. I'm out. I'm Irvin Griffin.